Welcome back to Angels and Bob's Factorio, and I've started the next production chain we need to master. That's by producing phenolic boards straight away from wood and resin. Nothing complicated, so I've just done it off camera. And we also need to bring in copper and tin. This is going to be coming from near to here. The next tile of these that I need, I can just move down below these. I've just split some off from our tin and copper supply. We're also going to need to add a liquid to that. So if we just look at the science packs, this is what we're heading for. We need the electronic circuit boards, so we need circuit boards. That needs phenolic, which we've got, copper and tin, which we've got, and ferric chloride, which we definitely don't. To make ferric chloride, we're going to need iron ore and some hydrogen chloride. Now, iron ore, it's a bit of short supply at the moment because I'm actually just producing lots of other stuff from this ore patch. One of the commenters did write that if I go into these higher end processes that produce more than just two things, I get less iron ore by proportions, and copper indeed as well. So you'll see that these belts aren't anywhere near full, but we get other excessive things, byproducts, as a result. So I'm going to leave them as they are at the moment. I did go all the way up to, I think I'm on 14 or so of these flotation cells, so it is supplying more than enough to keep these two busy, and occasionally it gets to this one as well. Okay, so I guess we are going to need a supply of iron ore, so we will get that. But I'm going to need hydrogen chloride. And hydrogen chloride is not too hard to make, but not as easy as it is later on with more technology. It needs chlorine and hydrogen. If we look at chlorine and hydrogen, we can get them at the wrong ratios from this recipe using an electrolyzer. Now, that bit is sort of okay, I think. Let's just check on what the cost of electrolyzer is. That's reasonable. Okay, however, saline water. The nicest recipe is this one. 1,000 water, 400 saline water, but that needs a salination plant, and that's very expensive. And I don't think it's even something I can make at the moment because I don't have the resources. Yep, we need that electronic circuit boards, we need brass pipes, we need concrete bricks, and aluminium plate, none of which we have. Okay, so the other recipe we can go for is this one. We do get purified water as a sort of waste product, so we can just void that if we want to, but we're using water and we're producing 20 saline water out of it. So we need 50 every 1 second, and this recipe produces 20 every 1 second. So we need two and a half or 3 of these plants if we want to keep up. Doesn't much matter to start with, though. It needs hydro plants. So can I make a hydro plant? I can make 1. So let's start off with a 1, and we're going to need an offshore pump as well. Yep. Okay. So I don't know where I'm going to get the iron ore in from just yet. The water, however, is here, so I'm going to need to at least bring the water in this way, and maybe I'll have to bring some of the iron ore across and down or something along those lines. So the hydro plant should be just about ready. We do have water here, and we have more than enough. Where do you lead to? We've got one pump here for the steam plant that feeds this side of things, and another one here for the one that goes into these boilers. So I think we have more than enough. I think we can just take that and just run a pipe off it. And I'm just going to run one, let's say, can we just bring it down in this direction maybe? Something along that kind of lines. I don't need anything, too neat just yet, because we're going to be rearranging all this once we get bots anyway. So we may as well just get going. So where is my hydro plant gone? There's an offshore pump. I maybe not need it. I can always put an extra one in. Where's the hydro plants? Hydro. There it is. Okay, so 1 hydro plant, and I need to get rid of that tree. Let's put you there for now. Give you a little bit of power. Where's the nearest power pole? You'll do. And we tell it we want Is it that one? No. That's the one. So we're going to get these two products out. So we need to get rid of one of them. And which one is it, the one we don't want? This is the one we want, so good. We can just put the other one the other way. And I think we can just void that whole thing. So if we have a clarifier, my inventory is getting full. Yeah, you're going to object because there's not enough space. Do I have a box or any kind of thing? Storehouse? Yeah, wasteful, but I'll come back to it later. And we'll put the clarifier to work. Just with you, I think. Let's get that right. Go. Alright, that should get the product we don't want, and then we do get salination, or we do get the saline water here. Fine, so let's step back there for a second. And we want to put this through a chemical plant, I assume, to get this. So we're going to need chlorine through an electrolyzer. And then we're going to need a chemical plant. So an electrolyzer, do I have any of those? I don't think I do. Electrolyzer? No, I don't. But I may have a chemical plant or two. Chemical plant. There we go. Guess I don't. Okay, we'll just make a couple of those. And my electrolyzer should be done in a second. Okay, I've got my electrolyzer. We're going to change this into the mode that we want. I'm going to want to reclaim this now. Maybe even the storehouse as well, and then put it over here. And I think we'll just box up for now. You didn't think I was going to leave that over there, did you? Let's just box up the solid product. And then we should end up with chlorine and hydrogen, but in the wrong ratio. So we're going to need to take care of the extra hydrogen. That's okay. So that is the top product. So we're going to need a valve. And an overflow valve. And we're also going to need, that's going to get done in a second. Yep. Let's put it there. There we go. And we want a flare stack as usual. That'll pop it down here. Then we need to feed these into a chemical plant. So if I pop down a chemical plant here for a second. Watch these two inputs be the wrong way around. I can almost guarantee it every time I put one of these down. Do I want ferric chloride from here? Ferric chloride, yes I do. I need the hydrogen chloride gas first, so hydrogen. Yep, there we go. Ha! The right way around. Sorry, just not used to this sensation. Okay, so we do need that flare stack, and make sure that's connected. Okay, so we should now have just pure hydrogen chloride at this side, which is then going to be turned into ferric chloride. So let's just see what we need for ferric chloride. Let's pop down through here, circuit board, phenolic, ferric chloride. So I just need the hydrogen chloride and I need some iron ore, and we can make that again in a chemical plant. So let's grab an underground belt. Put another chemical plant in. Tell it ferric. And then we just need some way of getting iron ore to it. I guess I could belt some, not belt, I guess I could just ladle some in just for my inventory. But I probably should get at least a little bit from our current factory, which is over there producing iron. So let me have a look. Okay, so we've now got some iron ore. It's not being used at the moment, so while it's coming down on this belt, it shouldn't be blocking too much of the iron ore production because it should back up very, very quickly. It only takes 2 pieces every 5 seconds, so it isn't very fast. And over here we've got these 2 machines. Now I'd like to use these ones, but I don't think I actually can. I can't copy and paste recipes to those, so I'm not sure if they can take any liquid inputs. So I've got to get rid of those, unfortunately, for now. And then I'm going to just put in this to this side, and then a couple on this side. And then we'll just set you to be dragging from there. Yep, that should work. So I'm gonna need to output to somewhere, of course. So I guess I'm gonna have to do something along this sort of side, like that. So we've got the circuit boards. Great. What else do we need for electronic circuit boards? Well, we need basic electronic components, but we've already made those before. And solder, we've already made those before. So let's look at transistors. That's going to need plastic bar. We've made those. They're elsewhere in our unit, in our factory. We also need tin copper wire. And to be honest, we've got a factory right here, or we know of a layout right here that produces both tin copper wire, although currently it's going into these. So what we could do is have a factory that's equivalent to this that stops here, and maybe only have one of these machines, but then output the rest of the tin copper wire in another direction. So we need to have these electronic components and tin copper wire, and then we can deal with the rest. That's possible. No problems with that. The last one, however, is silicon wafers. So we need to deal with those. Shouldn't be terribly hard, but it will require our usual sort of casting machines. I don't think there's any other way around that. Molten silicon, silicon ingots. That's through an induction furnace. Silicon ore and carbon. So it looks like I'm going to have to set up one of my usual setups, but for silicon. And where we put that is another thing entirely, because I need it down here somewhere. So we may have to ship it down on a belt. I hate doing it through the entire factory, but that's our major source of silicon up there at the moment. We also have plastics up here. What else did you need? Transistors, silicon wafers, carbon. Do we have a carbon line? We have a carbon line here. I think I mentioned it last episode. So I can split some off that, I think. Maybe around here. You know, we could always say that this one's going to go underground after this point. You know, I can send it underground. And for the meantime, we can just ship our carbon this way. And unfortunately, around the battery factory. To here. And let's just build... Oh, I'm out of iron plate. So I'm just going to build another setup like this over there. So give me a second. Okay, so we've now got our foundry, if you like, making silicon plate. That's being fed into an assembling machine, which we can then just feed out the other side. Some power, and we get silicon wafers and plastics. So both of those are 2 of the 3 ingredients we need for transistors. The other one is tin copper wire, and we don't really have anywhere near here, I don't think, where I can get tin from. That's nickel, not tin, unfortunately. So down here somewhere, we're going to have to ship all of that. So I may well bring it over and then down straight this direction here. Okay, so down here underneath our basic electronic board plant, we've also got a mirrored version. I've just copied these down. And then we've got this line coming in here with our plastic and our silicon plate. So now we just need to assemble the rest of it. So what do we actually need? We need this tinned copper plate, didn't we? And can we make the rest? Let's just have a look. We need transistors. So tin copper wire we can get from here. It does say we can make it in this electronics assembly machine 1. That'd be nice if we could. Let's just see, do I have any? I made a few, I think. Yeah, there we go. So if we can make you with that, and we can tell you to make transistors. Yep, that looks fine. So if we then feed you, that should feed those. And I'm going to just put a power pole over there. And then if we can feed the rest this direction, we're going to need some underground belts, aren't we? A couple more. That should work for this, and then we can feed on the other side again. Just for some power. There we go. That should make us our transistors. We just need to feed in. Player's inventory full. Yes, well, not for long, I suspect. Alright, so now we've got transistors. So we've got transistors, we've got basic electronic components right next to each other, so we could probably put on the other side of this same belt, or something along this sort of lines, because we're already producing this, so I guess we can go this way. Like, oh, maybe not. I guess I could use the more advanced way of inserting stuff. We could just grab it from here and tell it instead to insert sideways. So if I'm grabbing here, insert there. Yeah, that's nice and compact. Quite like that. So we've got two of the ingredients. So what's our third one? We want solder and circuit boards. So our circuit board is here. And we should have some solder around somewhere else. Let me go and see if I can find it. That didn't take long. It's right here. So we can just grab a U and bring more solder this way. And bring our circuit boards from this direction. Yes, yes, yes. My inventory's full. Wrong side. Easy enough to sort. There we go. All right, and that I think gives us everything we need for the circuit boards. So if we put you there, and I tell you, ooh, I can't make you. Oh, that's a shame. I'll need the next ones up, I guess. Unless I have any assembling machines, we can make the. We can't make the next ones up yet. So I really hope they can actually make this. We'll see very shortly. And then we'll have one of the major components we need for Blue Science Pack 3. We also need batteries, which we've already got. Bronze plate, we should be able to make fairly easy. Engine units are steel, iron, and motors, so we can make those wherever we've got iron and steel. Bronze plate is going to be another setup, and we're going to need bronze, which needs copper and tin, and probably quite a bit of it. So that's going to be something we're going to need to look into as well. Have you made my assembly machine? You have. Good. Can you make the electronic circuit boards? You can. Good. And then there's our basic circuit boards. So I guess, well, I guess we can feed them back up this way. And I'm out of components. Never mind. That should be working. Once I put another inserter in here and tell it to grab from here. Are you going to work? I may want to shift those into blues. Let's just make a couple of blues if I can. It's a bit slow otherwise. Did you retain things? No, I don't think you did. There we go. Okay, so I can then get these and move them wherever I want. More importantly, just like the basic electronic boards before them, these enable a next tier of building. So, you know, this is getting really quite messy, but we are going to head towards bots and then, well, Science Pack 3s first, but then bots. Okay, so I think I'll leave the rest of the Science Pack 3s because I want to do something else in the Science Pack 3 episode, and it'll probably be a bit long for this one. What all you need to do if you're following along and want to skip ahead, you just need to make bronze plates and engines. So I can leave that alone to you guys. I will be doing it myself in the next episode, of course. and we'll have probably a cleanup of this area as much as I can do between the episodes. I really am just coping with belts until I get to bots. I much prefer the bot network, but of course, until we get there, we sort of have to cope with these, which makes it quite scrappy. A bus really doesn't help. I've tried a main bus in Factorio before. Works very well in the vanilla game. Does not work well with Angels and Bobs, let me tell you. Does not help terribly. So yeah, I'm going to skip the main bus approach, have Spaghetti Junction until we get to bots, and then we go from there. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. It is about 20 minutes long, so it's a little bit shorter for a Factorio episode. I'm not quite sure whether to stay at the 30-minute episode point. There could be quite a lot in one episode if I do, because we can get a lot of stuff done quite quickly in Factorio. Let me know in the comments. If you prefer longer episodes, let me know. Somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes is more normal for me, but if you really, really can concentrate for up to an hour or 45 minutes, or, you know, even if you want 15 minutes, let me know and we can go from there. Okay, hope you enjoyed this one. Feel free to thumbs up, subscribe, share as normal, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.